Attention to all founders, hustlers, and hardworking entrepreneurs. The Hustle's 2024 Entrepreneurship Trends Report is out now, and it's a goldmine of valuable strategies, data-driven insights, and expert tips for elevating your business. Have you ever wondered how successful business owners are staying ahead of the crowd in today's super competitive market? Well, we talked to over 500 small business owners to uncover how they're doing it and did a ton of research so you don't have to. We know you're busy building your business, so we got you covered. The Hustle's 2024 Entrepreneurship Trends Report is something you don't want to miss. This right here is the future of entrepreneurship. So stop what you're doing right now and check the link in the show notes to get that report right now.
Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday, October 15th. I'm Ben Berkley here with Sara Friedman, and this is the Hustle Daily Show. We're exactly 3 weeks out from Election Day here in the US, which makes it actually an absolutely ideal time to look into escaping this planet. Vast is a California space startup from crypto billionaire Jed McCaleb, and they are working on making a more comfortable stay up in space. And even if most of us can't afford the eventual price tag on its bookable commercial space station, it's a lot of fun to see what they're doing up there and what these exorbitantly wealthy extreme tourists may be seeing as soon as 2026. We'll take you aboard its Haven 1 in just a bit, but first, let's give you today's hits and headlines in business and tech. Former Nike intern Elliot Hill started his new job as the footwear giant's CEO yesterday. While the whole intern to CEO thing is always charming, the reality here, it kind of sucks a lot for Hill. The swoosh is in a tailspin. It has had its quarterly revenues down 10%, and its competitors are doing great. Think about Hoka, New Balance. They are up many percentage points, whereas Nike is down. So, Sara, we're kind souls. We've been in internship before. Hill is one of ours, so it only feels right to try to help him out. So what's one free idea for fixing Nike?
Well, earlier this month, other Nike executives promised recovery through, quote, newness and innovation. So possibly just more empty corporate platitudes might do the trick here.
Honestly, it sounds about right. I could never think of a situation that can't call for just someone talking about innovation. And if you do that, your numbers are bound to go right up. Let's move on to the Nobel Memorial Prize in Economic Sciences. That was awarded to 3 U.S. economists yesterday. 2 of them are from MIT and one is from the University of Chicago. And this was for their groundbreaking research looking into the differences in prosperity between nations. So specifically, they didn't just call out like that one's rich and that one's poor. They were tracing how the wealth gap developed between nations over time, say like modeling back to a poorer nation's colonial past in a way to better explain current inequalities. Congrats to them. Let's move to Apple, which is eyeballing a lighter second generation Vision Pro headset. It's going to be a while. That would arrive in 2026 and start around $2,000, according to Bloomberg. That is at least an improvement on the current price tag, which is $3.5K. And I would argue that is approximately $3.4K too high for my tastes. Sara, what price point would they need to hit to get you to take the Vision Pro plunge?
Yeah, I was going to say maybe somewhere $200 to $400. I mean, I think either the price needs to come way down or I need to feel much more pressured to buy it. I think maybe if our team meeting is being held in virtual reality or if there's just some capability that's too irresistible. But for now, that price tag is just feels way too high.
I am with you there. And we might not be the exact target here. We're very like old school lo-fi type of people. So granted, there's that. But this is just one area you have to worry about Apple. Like they don't take a loss very often, but in this like headwear tech space, they're moving a lot slower than Meta. They're spending a lot of money and they're not really making a ton back here or have a lot of promise to make anything back anytime too soon, which is actually a perfect segue into what Adobe is up to. They debuted their entrant into these AI video wars. You're seeing a lot of freaky videos produced by AI. Their Firefly AI is going to do that as well. So their video generation tools can create 5 seconds of video from text or an image. And they also have a feature called Generative Extend, which adds 2 seconds to existing footage. I will have nightmares over something I see and realize how real it looks. And we don't have to process that right here, actually. So let's keep going. Let's do one more just absolutely tragic one. Halloween candy prices are hitting record highs. So what's happening is weather patterns in West Africa, they're impacting cocoa production, and that is leading to short supply. So let's clarify for a second. This is really bad for chocolate fans, because what we've seen is candy makers like Hershey, Nestle, and Mars cutting cocoa content and shifting to gummies and non-chocolate treats. So I suppose if you're happier to see a bag of Skittles than a bag of M&Ms, this may be a dream Halloween for you. And Sarah, you have to know this is coming. What is your pick for like the indispensable candy in any trick-or-treat haul?
Yeah, so it is my time to come clean as a candy corn person. I know that is very polarizing and not everyone will stand with me on that, but candy corn is my favorite. I wait every year for it to start showing up in CVS, and it's my time to shine right now.
I am so worried about you as a person. We can definitely edit that out of this episode if you'd like, because that is a really tough thing to have publicly on the record. I mean, okay, I'm happy for you. This is your season. And also, we have to move on because there's nothing I can say that's nice about candy corn.
With smaller budgets, shorter timelines, and sky-high expectations, growth is feeling pretty painful right now. But HubSpot is here to help. They just announced more than 200 major product updates that'll make impossible business growth feel impossibly easy. Like Breeze, HubSpot's suite of new AI tools that help you say goodbye to busy work and hello to better work. There's Breeze Copilot, a sidekick to assist you with all your tasks and boost productivity, Breeze Agents to automate manual, time-consuming work and add expertise, and Breeze Intelligence to give you the richest, most comprehensive picture of your prospects so you know which are most likely to become loyal customers. They've also reimagined their marketing and content hubs with all new ways to create breakthrough content, updated features to generate better leads, and lots more to uplevel your marketing and your revenue forecast. Get ready for growth without the growing pains. Visit HubSpot.com/spotlight to see them all and demo for yourself.
So let's move on to our main story. So maybe I've seen too many movies set in space, but when I think about time on a space station, I'm thinking about claustrophobic spaces with really intense lighting, spaces that are all function over form. Today, we're going to present one startup's vision for the future of space living, and it looks a lot more five-star hotel lobby than Apollo 13. So, Sarah, what can you tell us about Vast Space and its Haven 1 project?
Yeah, so Vast is a California space startup. It was founded by crypto billionaire Jed McCaleb. And as you said, they're working on a luxury space concept called Haven 1. So this is the world's first commercial space station, and it will enter low Earth orbit next year with the help of SpaceX's Falcon rocket. But as you alluded to, it is kind of not what we're used to seeing as far as space stations go. It's really beautiful, and it looks a lot like somewhere between an Apple store and a five-star hotel. The space station will have 4 bookable spots for customers. The trips are expected to average around 10 days. And there are 4 private crew quarters, a common area for travelers to eat meals together with a communal table, just hang out. There's even a resistant band exercise system so that you can fight, the muscle atrophy that happens when you're in outer space. There's a large central window so you can take a view at Earth, which is pretty amazing. And there's a microgravity research lab as well. And the whole thing was designed in part by Peter Russell Clark, who did help to design some of Apple's most famous products. So that's why it's so minimalistic and beautiful. It even has fire-resistant maple wood slats. So it looks a lot like a luxury home in California, but you're in outer space. And there will be a lot of creature comforts that I think haven't existed before. So customers will be able to adjust the temperature, light settings, and there's even a patent-pending sleep system with an inflatable queen-size duvet that kind of pushes pressure back against your body to keep you comfy while you sleep in outer space, which is really cool.
So I guess it sounds like a big improvement on what is available today. Clearly, this is just something that people are trying to be first to provide that like absolutely perfect space tourism experience. What's the timeline exactly on this? Like, does it feel realistic that they're going to get people up there, and who do they see putting up there?
Yeah, so currently the company is saying it's launching as soon as 2025 and that the first paying customers will be able to get on board in 2026. So that's a pretty short timeline from where we are right now if they're able to follow through on that. And as far as who will be visiting Haven 1, the first batch of travelers will obviously be incredibly wealthy. The cost of the trip isn't publicly listed on the website right now. It's through email inquiries only currently, but we can assume that it's not your average plane ticket. A trip to the International Space Station with SpaceX cost about $55 million per seat. So, even if it's less than that, we're not even remotely in the ballpark of your everyday traveler. Although the company did say that its goal long term is eventually to make this accessible to normal people. I think that will obviously take many years for space travel to become so commonplace that the price also comes down. But they did mention that eventually their hope is to get everybody up there.
I mean, I guess working in their favor is airfares certainly feel like they're $55 million per ticket. So at least, comparatively, it won't seem quite so bad. But let's kind of talk about Vast's vision going forward. Let's say they get people up into Haven 1 in 2026 as they aim. So is this just like, let's get Haven 1 up into low orbit and then we'll ferry people back and forth and that's the business? Or do they have like Havens 2 through 20 kind of just like planned out and ready to go?
There's already a lot of future plans here. There is already a Haven 2, which would be particularly for low orbit microgravity research. And then the bigger idea here is that Vast is one of the many space companies that's vying to replace the International Space Station. NASA announced that it will be retiring the ISS in 2031. So Vast is competing for $2 billion in funding from NASA, as well as a contract in 2026 to be the next International Space Station. So we will see kind of who wins in that race, but they definitely have broader ambitions than just this one space station.
Well, that makes me think that we will probably be back talking about Vast soon. So let's just put them aside. And just for a second, let's talk to you. Let's say money's not an issue. Are you going up to Haven 1?
I wouldn't go first or even eighth. I think I would want this to become so commonplace. I need to see a lot of people go and come back and be healthy and safe. And then I would consider it because honestly, the photos I've seen of what Haven 1 will look like, they're very effective. I would like to be tucked into a big queen size bed and stare down at Earth. So if enough people make it back safely, I would be down.
I feel that. I will be sleeping under my Earth duvet tonight, being like, this is not nearly as cool as a space duvet. And it will be, frankly, very depressing, which is a bad note to end on, but we're going to do it anyway. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into the Hustle Daily Show. We're a proud part of the HubSpot Podcast Network. Our editor today is Robert Hartwig, and our executive producer is Darren Clark. Let's get a lot more tech and business coverage in our newsletter. If you're not subscribed, go get yourself signed up at thehustle.co/email and follow us on Instagram. That would be nice too. And we will see you tomorrow.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I've been listening to this awesome podcast lately. It's called Hustle and Flowchart, hosted by Joe Fear, and it's brought to you by the HubSpot Podcast Network, the audio destination for business professionals. The Hustle and Flowchart podcast with Joe Fear is all about how to build a business so it gives you the freedom and fuel for your life. You can join Joe as he discusses systems, mindset tweaks, reframes, and strategies for entrepreneurs, and really anyone, to be honest, to enjoy the process of being in business and also having fun. This isn't just for the entrepreneur looking to make $1 billion business, but it's also for somebody who's looking to build systems that work for you so you can make more money than you need just by working part-time, essentially. I was actually just listening to an episode he had on Kareen Walsh behind the app Hey Kareen, and Kareen talked a lot about how to scale your business effectively, especially if you're just a startup, especially if you are just an app startup specifically. It's an awesome episode. I would recommend it to anyone. You could check them out and you can listen to the Hustle and Flow chart wherever you get your podcasts.